and Loft Manager Richard from Pioneer Racing Pigeon Club of Ontario, checking to see if we are on. Actually, I shouldn't have even done my spiel until I figured out if we were on or not. So we were late.
Hey, we just talked about that before you went on.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'm not gonna do the spiel until I know for sure. I have a very bad
Leah, is
headache this evening, guys, so I apologize. Not in the
Leah, is
right
it true
frame of mind.
that the Food
Anyway.
Network contacted you to do introduce the grocery games or something?
Oh yeah. Spokesperson. Like what do you call that guy from Bob Barker?
Oh, you're Rowdy
Oh,
Rowdy. Come on,
Rod,
there,
Roddy. Yeah. And
Rod
we are
Roddy.
live.
He was the
We are
best.
live on Facebook and on YouTube. Hello, everybody. We're going to try this again. This is Leah Ryan and Loft Manager Richard from the Pioneer Racing Pigeon Club of Ontario. Here, better late than never with your Pioneer question and answer. Post your pigeon-related questions in the comment section, and Ryan or Richard or our audience will do our best to answer for you. Take it away, Ryan.
What do we say if we can't answer it and he can't answer it and I can't answer it and Leah can't answer it? I know somebody on here will have a good answer or a knowledgeable, sensible answer. And remember, guys, no answer is completely dumb or stupid. Every question is good. Hey, we may not agree. We can agree to disagree on some things, but it's a healthy, good pigeon chat. Welcome on this rainy, drizzly now here Tuesday. We set this all up and we've got the drizzle. Ricky, I see you've readjusted your headphones. You look a lot better. That was a nice technique you had. You put the hat on over the headphones. And I shouldn't have said nothing, but it is a look. Where do you come up with this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. He didn't know.
I'm saying you don't know, right?
You don't know. You're just going with the flow. Man, you're looking good today, though. And I like that hat. That's a nice hat. You can get those, eh? From the Coop. America hats. They say USA. They got the shield on with the pigeon. Looks real sharp. I got my FIPA.ca. Big things on right now at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Head on over to featherselitepigeonauctions.com or FIPA.ca. We've got a 10 bird auction going on right now. That's right now. 10 super young birds that have been out. They're already out flying. They're broke. They're doing their thing for the Pioneer race. It's a 9-week race course. You purchase the pigeon. Pigeon does some winning. You're going to win all that money, and it's for a great cause, the trailer fundraiser. All the money earned by these 10 pigeons in this sale will go for our new fabulous transporter. Some people call it a trailer. It's a transporter. It is really, really nice.
It's not a trailer.
Well, people are going to call it a trailer. Some people are going to call it a transporter.
A transporter is something way, I'd say, upgraded from a trailer.
Upgraded from a trailer.
Okay.
Listen. What we've done here is we've taken a look at all the big silver cans that we've seen, and we kind of nitpicked it and picked it apart and seen what we didn't like.
Those are trailers.
Right. This is a transporter, and I have to get that in my head. And the person I'm going to blame for this is Leah, because Leah has been calling it a trailer ever since she said we need to get something.
I'm very sorry about that. We are going to give a shout out to Owen, Frank Eichhorn, and Bar Loft. Mike Vandriak and Owen seem to be taking pools on how late we're going to be, what time we're going to be on. Way to go, guys. This one's my fault this evening. Sorry. Actually, it's a miracle we're on because I wasn't even going to do it. So there you go.
I had to motivate her. You know what? She had to drive some dinner in. She had a bit of a headache, and I know how headaches are. Headaches can cripple you. And Leah, she doesn't get like the regular type of headache. You get the super migraine. But you're trooping it out there. So again, guys, we're better to be late than never. One thing is, the birds are early.
The birds are early. That's right, they are. Tracy is in the house. Mo is in the house. Sorry to hear, Mo, about what happened to you today. I think we're going to talk a little bit about it once Loft Manager Richard gets back to the news desk. Neil says, hi all. I was just getting ready to tap out. Oh, don't give up on us, Neil. Owen says,
This goes on for.
I think I have an egg-bound hen again. We'll see how it turns out. Oh, remember Owen and the egg-bound hen there a couple months ago, guys?
Owen's got more egg bound. Owen in his short life so far has had more egg bound hens than we have. And there he is. There's Skip to Malou.
Yeah.
He's got the headphones back on. But Leah, starting off with the show, Mo had a tragedy.
I don't. I'd like to go back to.
What do you want
I
to go back to?
don't like to call it a trailer.
Hold on.
Right.
Hold
Transport.
On. When people
it's more
hold on. Wait,
pro.
We're past that there.
Okay.
Come on. Let's follow the bouncing ball here. We've got people placing bets on how many times we're going to go back over the same thing. Getting back a quick update there with Mo. Ricky talked to Mo. We're going to help Mo out. Mo needs about 15 to 20 birds. The raccoon did the #1 job. The raccoon did his. Actually, let's give a round of applause for that raccoon, Leah. Because Mo has learned the most valuable lesson. Yes, you may leave your traps open, and yes, your landing board may be up, and yes, you don't see anything around before you go to bed. But at night, the raccoons, they love to wander. They smell behind you. They got 200 pigeons in there, so that just smells like a candy shop.
Yeah.
And they can smell it. If you have feed in your loft, they can smell it. And you know what? They got all night to open this up and open that up, and pry it in, pry it in. And you see behind me here, and I'll talk for a second. You see right here.
Yeah.
If I leave this open at night, there's the hole. The birds, the raccoons can go in here, a cat can go in here, but I have a chute behind that. So I close it twice. You know what? You guys put a lot of time into your pigeons, money, and a lot of effort. And you know what, guys? I don't care if it's 9 o'clock at night. You say, hell, the mosquitoes are bad or it's sweaty as hell out there. Guess what?
Guess what?
Give it a little more.
I would have to say, every single night, the raccoon.
He comes.
He goes, hunting. Checks your back door.
Yep.
Your garbage can.
Yep.
He checks this. Checks that. You're gonna go. You're gonna go and say, what the hell? I'm going out for the night. I'm gonna be coming home at 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'm just gonna go to bed. Forget about it. That raccoon. I'm saying raccoon.
Yeah.
He checks every single thing.
And I will tell.
He checks your barbecue.
Hold on. Just enough, Ricky. Checks it all. We know that. We don't got to go over everything he checks. Right. He checks if you dried your paintbrushes. Yeah. Hold on. You used to go to work at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and you'd open. You had a little chicken run. He'd open the chicken run up before he went to work in the morning. He'd open it up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Did that all summer until the end. What happened in the end? Raccoons come at 5 o'clock in the morning and wipe them out, because you know what? They got all the time in the world, and all they got to do, they don't got to worry about making cell phone payments. None of this shit.
Yeah.
All they got to worry about is finding food.
Oh, they check it one time, then they check it back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So guys, you know what? We can blame the raccoon all we want, but you know whose fault it was? And it wasn't the pigeons. It's us, the pigeon men. So good for the raccoon. He wins. He deserves a win every now and then, and he helps smarten us up. And we've all been smartened up by it. I've been, you've been. Now Mo has been. How many of you have been smartened up?
Get that right wire.
Right. What'd you say, Leah?
Speaking of the right wire, like, are we going to get into how to vermin-proof your loft, or maybe we should talk about that. I do have some comments to get to, so let's just briefly, how can you vermin-proof your loft?
Listen, if you have any types of chutes where the birds are coming in, you want to make sure you have something solid that they can't pry open, pry this way. My chutes, they could pry this way, so I got one that goes forward, and they shut together this way. So I got a double door. My windows, I use the quarter inch wire all the way.
No,
half-inch cube wire all the way around. Right, the Averys. Half-inch wire all the way around. You don't have to bury your wire. Put your wire down at the Avery and fold it out, a foot out. The grass can go through. You can whippersnip it. You can grass cut it. Nothing can dig up. If you have an Avery that is on the ground, okay, and you want to leave it on the ground, put 1.5 feet or 2 foot of heavy-duty gravel. Pack your Avery right down so nothing can dig up and in. Help yourselves, guys. Pretend that you're a rodent. You want to get in. Some small things. It's common sense things, guys. Use common sense. The bigger the cube, the bigger the varmint that can get in. If you have mice in your loft, you can have a weasel in your loft. It's that simple.
Yeah, because they can get in really, really tiny places. I'm going to get on to the comments here. Neil says that I have something new for LMR's wardrobe. I hope they're not red shorts because that seems to be LMR's new summer wardrobe is those red shorts that I love so much. Brian Mansker says, I like those hats, eh? Am I a Canadian now? Well, not really, but nice try. First of all, it's A spelled E-H. And you got to keep on practicing there, Brian.
And you know what's great? You want to know what's great?
You know what I mean,
You
eh?
know what's great? You got an American hat on. I got a FIFA.ca
Right.
hat on.
Right.
We got Irish hats, Dutch hats, German hats, Belgian hats. You know what's great? The pigeons don't know what country they even come from, so why should we? We like to support all the hats. I like that American one on you. You always wear it really nice, and this look tonight is tremendous now. You look like you're one of the 7 dwarfs.
He kind of
you.
looks like
Thank you.
Eminem. He's like a kind of like a
Thank you.
rap. He's gonna bust out in a rap or something.
Oh, no, don't
Anyway,
say that too loud.
Tracy, yes, thank you for correcting Brian. She knows how it's spelled. She lives closer to the border than Brian, apparently. She's got it going on. Okay, Mike Vandriak says a transporter is a self-propelled implement of husbandry. A trailer is towed. Thank you for that clarification, Mike.
Oh, wait, hold on. Round of applause for Mike on that one.
Mike,
Mike went off the top rope.
Mike, you're exactly right.
Mhm.
This is what you said.
But what Mike doesn't know, is, Michael, this is beyond even a transporter. It's all solar powered. It's run by solar power, Michael. So you know what? Follow that bouncing ball, my friend. Hey, wait a minute. Is it true? Did you hear the rumor?
No.
That Mike's coming for the club meeting on Wednesday.
So
he should.
Super.
really hope so.
Let me get back to the comments here. Mandy says, way to go, Leah. Hello, Pioneer Village. Mandy, we hope you are feeling better. Heard that you are in the hospital, which is never a good thing. Oh, she's taking it easy on the couch. Well, good. You take it easy on the couch. Watch some Pioneer TV. Dave Dickinson says, a body gripper traps cure raccoons. And Owen says, dog proofs work better. Mike Vandriak says, if your thumb fits in a hole, a weasel will get through it.
That's what I say.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know what Owen said. A dog's around, but believe it or not, when your dogs are sleeping, those raccoons, weasels, they know it.
They know how to dance, man. You gotta remember. You know what? It's great. Put a dog run out. Put a dog. Sure, that's good. That's a positive in the right direction. But did you ever watch the Walt Disney movies, the little cartoons? Mm. When the dog's sleeping and the raccoons climb around his house and they eat some food and they look at him and they go, "Look at that dumb dog. He's sleeping." Because you know why? He's a man dog. He's not a wolf. He's not a coyote. He's just a plain old dog.
We have Combe Van Zorn in the house from the Netherlands. Question for Alfred, or maybe Ryan, or maybe this is the dumbest question of the evening, but do they have raccoons in Holland? I'm sure that's a dumb question, but do they?
I don't know. I thought that the Europeans brought them to
North America.
I don't know.
I don't know
where they had to come from somewhere.
You know one thing I will say, for every loft I've been to in Europe, as soon as I look at the lofts, I mean, besides the cleanliness and how they're constructed, I'll tell you something. I don't think they have any problems with anything really ever getting in there. And I never see even posts on the internet about it.
Yeah, well, I was just
serious.
thinking. I'm thinking of what I've seen on Facebook, and I haven't seen all that many of them who show like mass, carnage because a weasel or a vermint or a raccoon I've seen some hawk attack photos from the Europeans, but I've not seen anything where a vermint has gone in and wiped out their entire loft like here. Alfred says no, they don't have raccoons. Well, who knew?
hey, you know what, Leah? Should we take Alfred a little clutch of little cublet raccoons?
Maybe. I think he's
We
saying
could.
no, they don't. I think he's saying no, they don't have raccoons. Frank Eichhorn, confirm or deny? Do they have raccoons in the Netherlands? Important question on Neil's mind, Ryan. What team are you rooting for in the World Cup?
Belgium. There
Of
you go.
course.
I mean, that was a silly question. I'm going to go with Belgium. They'll probably win the whole thing. And again, don't take my bets right now, but you'll see. They got a super team again. I should have actually had my Belgian shirt on today, but I'm pigeon bossing it with our FIFA.ca hat. These hats are fantastic. They're comfortable, and he's going back to this traditional. Put the hat over, because I tighten the back of your hat now, boy.
Oh boy.
Focus. Focus.
Frank Yanknet, he is confirming that there are no raccoons, and he called them the Dutch name. What was Birch? I'd probably totally butchered that. I'm sorry. There's no raccoons in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And I don't think they have weasels as well, because we talked to Emil Dunnies about how his aviaries were.
I know when you and I
this doesn't take to be a long story.
We went to visit Emil Dunnies, and he showed us some of his stock bird pens out the back.
Yeah.
Which he had aviaries like 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, or 6 feet wide.
Yeah.
And they were, the cubes
were 2-inch cubes.
2 by 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going, man.
If we had that here.
We couldn't have, I would never put my stock birds into that kind of a pen. He goes, oh.
Yeah.
You know, so we're living in a different world, right?
Yeah. Different, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different world over here.
Well, then you go down to, I think, Texas.
Oh, they have snakes.
And they're
we got
snakes. They got the snakes go right into the loft. If the cubing's not half inch by half inch, you're done.
And that's what we say here on the show. You got to sort of adapt the show to where you're living, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it 100%. Here. We're in Canada. We're not in Belgium, and I'm not in the United States. So it is what it is. Go ahead, Leah.
I think I'll take raccoons over snakes. I don't know. I mean, they're equally as terrible, but I would really freak out. Brian says dog-proof trap with cat food in it. Ann Farloff says they are lucky to have no raccoons. Yes, absolutely, for sure. Steen Martyr is similar to a weasel, so they must have. Obviously, there's predators everywhere, so they've got to have something.
Yeah, I don't know, but you know, we asked him. He's been there forever, and he had no problems with what he was using. If I would never build it that way, but he built it and he's had a success. So
who's that?
Emil.
Oh yeah.
How he was doing that.
He's lived there for.
Look, this is my bird here coming back. I got a red that's out. So you see,
he's lived there he was born there.
Yeah. Now I've got a pigeon here that's coming home right now on the board. He's landed in the tree. He's a red. I got to open the chute for him. Ricky, you want to open that chute for him?
No.
I thought because you want to take your headset off again. No, okay. What else are we going to say, Leah?
Remember one thing, Ryan. That we're in competition.
Oh, hey, by the way, this morning when you were enjoying your sleep, were you dreaming of what was going on above you?
Yeah.
Because guess what? Daddy's coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. It's okay, Papa.
Watch out.
They're there. Leah, you seen it, what happened this morning, the spectacle in the sky?
Yeah, it was some good loft flying for sure. Guys, don't forget to put your questions in the comments. Ryan, what do you want to talk about next?
Oh, okay. I did want to talk again about the meeting on Wednesday. Our Pioneer Club meeting. The meeting is going to, we want people there by 7. Online, it's going to start by 7:30. I'm not messing around. So get here at 7, say hi to the people, get yourself a beverage, grab some popcorn. We're going to sit down and have our club meeting. It's going to be on Facebook and I guess the YouTube. We're going to do it in the garage there. That's one thing we're definitely going to be doing. Please don't be later than, try and be there 7:15 because we got to do this for a show and I don't want people coming in and interrupting. what you know, we're trying to grow the Pioneer Club in a positive way. We got to sort of get on a track. So please, 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 if you're coming, be here on time.
Troy wants to know how long did they end up loft flying for this morning?
Well, we had, geez, I would say out of 190 birds that went up, I think about 60 landed after the hour, and then the rest of them, they were just cruising around for another, I'd say, 25 minutes, and they came down. I let them be. I kicked them up at about 11 o'clock, 11:15. Carlos Textira was here. I kicked them up. He watched them and he shook his head. He said, "Ryan, these birds are different than last year's birds. They're on another level, which is good to see. But again, we still have absolutely nothing, right? We've gotten past 99% of the sickness, which was great. We've broken the birds. We lost more birds than I expected on the break, but that's okay. They were older. We live in the wood. We live in here with the woodland fairies, and with the pigeons that get up and they're too strong.
You're talking about losing birds on the break.
Yeah.
Okay. I know upstairs.
Yeah.
Where I am.
Where you are. Go ahead.
Right next door. I had about 3 good attacks.
You had 3 good attacks.
Yeah, and that
you're down what, about 50 birds?
Yeah.
50 birds or so.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying, and then sometimes you don't see what's happening.
Oh, sure. When you got them open, and you know, I
had the birds on the loft, right? And everybody's really very nice, calm, and then there's a crow.
He hollers.
He's like, I don't know, a quarter mile away. He's cawing. He's cawing. All the birds start coming down. They're running down towards the board. Like, we don't have an attack. But what I'm saying is,
it happens.
That's like not really an attack.
Hey, look. I'm not going to lie to you here. We're sitting here. I got a red and 2 blues now just landed, eh? Those
this one here?
Well, no, not that one. I got these 2 blues that just landed. I think these are Carlos 2 and a red.
There's a checker right there.
These birds, they go out, and where we live especially, it's like a pigeon highway. We kick these birds up in the morning.
What do you mean by that?
Pigeon highway. People are training. I got, you get Guido Madrusin comes down from Woodstock. Every time he comes, he brings his old birds. Now, there's no problem.
Yeah,
that's just one pigeon guy.
Northwest.
And he goes right up to the school here. And if you have your birds out and you don't know that Guido's here, or Gary's here, or Mike's here, or whatever, they let the birds out. Your birds hook up and they go. Yeah. So this is why I switched the birds to the morning. Number 1, it's nice and cool. I switch where the sun is on them.
If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead. I'll answer.
What's it doing for Ricky?
Well, you had the morning. Now you're now in the afternoon, and I don't know why your birds are in today, but your birds are in. That's on you. I'm not baking your cake for you. But
you asked me to come on the show. Yeah. You're paying me to come on. So okay.
We are?
Right. We are? I didn't know that.
We got.
I thought you were paying us.
You didn't get
whenever
the bill?
you guys are done, let me know. I got questions and comments.
All right, fire the questions in. We're gonna ramble, so you fire the questions in.
Okay, from ABC Loft on YouTube. Hello. My question today is, can I keep my breeders together and just put fake eggs underneath them because I have no more space to separate?
You know what? I think you can. I would adjust the feeding, back them off, measure off the feeding, back the feed off, give them the dummy eggs for now. And Mike, I know Mike's watching, and Mike's going to come on after me on this one. You talked about 3 weeks ago you wanted to stop breeding, correct, Ricky? Are your breeders still out all together?
Yeah,
they are. Okay, remember today's date now. Today's June the 16th.
14th.
July 16th, the breeder.
I have one more pair on eggs that I'm
breeding.
I'm going to breed.
Right.
But the rest of them,
you got them on some pot eggs.
Yeah.
And he's just backing the feed off. I'll tell you, they're getting hungry.
Like I said, your race flyers, your old birds, I would keep them together, keep them happy. when the season's over, and it helps the molt. Once you separate them after these races, they don't molt right.
Well, he's talking about his stock birds.
Okay, stock birds.
But whatever. You know what? You can do what you want. Try backing them off. Back the feed off on them. I don't think you're going to have a problem. He's going to leave his together. His will be still together in September. They're going to molt good. You're going to breed another good round of babies, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, I put the feed out there. I back the feed off. I put them on to pure.
Yeah.
They eat. Bang. They're happy.
Hopefully that helps answer your question. Alfred says, so you do it also the Dutch way to train the loft, and how do you like it?
Train.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe he thinks that you're training the Dutch way. Maybe that's what he's saying. Because maybe he's been watching your training and you're training the way he trains or the Dutch way. I don't know.
I will say, if there's one thing I've really learned in Europe, and you would hear it if there's bullshitting, so many of them say that training is loft exercise, loft exercise, loft exercise. You got to, I think that is more key than the road training. I will be honest. How do you know when your birds are healthy? The way they pull their wings, the way they loft fly, the way they dip and dive, if they fly a little bit upside down, if they're kamikazing in the air, if they can pick up the pace, pick down the pace, pick up the pace, go up and down with their paces, and you can see it. They're all talking to you. They're telling you, you got the feeding right, you got the medication right, or you got them healthy. They're telling you that. But if you go and let them out, and you go in your house and put on Blue Jays baseball, what are you learning? This morning, Leah, we let the birds out at 6:25. We stood there and watched them all for basically the whole fly.
Right.
More than what we wanted. It was pointless. We were talking. No, we were learning. We watched them go up, go down as the groups broke up and came together. The one group got tired. The fresh group came, picked them up they went again. Building the gears, as I call it. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I played soccer in Europe, and I love to run. I could run like the wind. But it was always more fun when you had a guy running beside you. Because if you had to train by yourself, you never could keep the same pace. And that's why I talked last week about single tossing. I don't care what you say. A single toss pigeon will never keep the pace of 2, 3, 4, 5 birds together. Never going to happen. Now, it's different. It is different when you let up 3,000 pigeons or 2,000 pigeons or 1,000 pigeons and the birds are heading home and then they start to break from each other. By this point, they've already got it in they got her in them.
I think have we got this on right or no?
I don't know. If you haven't figured it out by now.
I think loft flying is very, very important. For example, I have my Icelandic whites. I had to do a dove release. They haven't been trained. I'm not taking them out every day to go for a loft fly. Every day, loft fly, loft fly. I took them today only, 30 miles.
Like, they came like nothing.
30 miles, 50 kilometers. Let them up, bang. Right. So what's that telling you? Meanwhile, these are high quality birds.
Here's the question.
Okay, I'm not talking about
this is what it is. When we talk about them loft flying, and you probably ask Alfred the same thing. If the pigeons go up sky high and they're above your loft and all they're doing is this circle here, right above your loft, so you always see them. You know what I call that? That's just getting your strength. That's not loft flying. I want them to go up and I want them to disappear. Yeah, we're not here with those pioneer birds.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
You know, and I was talking with Frank Eichhorn.
Yeah.
He lets his young birds out.
Right.
That's where he lives. Are you okay? Are you situated? Sit down. Just sit for a bit. You're getting me all squirrely here. You want to move ahead. Do you need a rocking chair?
Take the table back.
Anyway, hold on. We need a seatbelt you in. Mike, bring a seatbelt on Wednesday. Frank lets his young birds out, and I'm using Frank. Sorry, Frank. We talk pigeons, whatever.
Someone you know.
Someone I know.
Yeah.
We call him Gary. Forget Frank.
Yeah.
Gary. He lets his young birds out right now for about an hour a day. Okay? An hour a day. Our pioneer birds, and I'm going to use ours, they're out 8 hours of a day. So you think about it. In 1 week, his birds are getting what the pioneer birds get.
Double.
No. In 1 day, his birds, and our birds go out 8 hours in 1 day. His birds are going out 8 hours all week. All week. We're 8 timesing him. So guys, if you can get your birds out and let them build those gears, like Carlos said, he was here. He seen me kick the birds up. He goes, "Holy shit, Ryan! You ask them and they go." Yeah, I'm building. You're
going back to what you said about this person.
Mm-hmm.
He lets his birds out for 1 hour a day.
Yeah, it's where he lives. It's his schedule that he's on.
The neighbors got him locked.
That's right. They screwed him.
Yeah.
And you want to know what? You want to know what? I know.
Very hard.
You want to know what? He flies a real good pigeon.
But I think there's a lot of people who are in that type of situation where they live determines when they can loft fly, how long they can loft fly. You got to deal with the cards that you're given, right?
And you
know, don't all
Leah,
have the luxury.
Look behind me. I told you, late ones.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get to the questions here. Dave Ottaway wants to know, is there an inventory list for the LMR birds? They're not all chipped yet. We have to still chip. Are all of the gold band birds? I don't know what the situation is there, Ryan.
All the gold band birds are chipped, are they not? Yes, they are. All the gold bands from people that sent you. So we can do an inventory, Leah. We just got to kick his all out and put his clock on.
Okay, well maybe we could do that tomorrow, if
if
anybody's interested in LMR inventory. We can definitely make that happen. No problem. Ampar Loft says, my stock birds are going through their molt and they are still together. Yeah. Dave says they don't molt properly being left together in my experience. The feathers roll off them when separated like darkness.
Okay. I can see that. I can see the same thing. I mean, they're going to sulk for a week and then they get over it. I can see it. There's multiple ways. I don't think it's...
I think if you keep them together, it's slower.
Okay? Yeah, that's right. Because they're still in love, right?
Yeah.
There's still things they can do. I think that's right. And I do think if you're stuck and you have no room, I don't think you're going to screw yourself. I think it's okay. But, I mean, in the ideal world, separate them. I mean, we could separate them. We just don't have the time.
James Timothy Walters says the auction birds are looking good. I was looking at them earlier. Thank you. Yes, auction is running now until Sunday at FIPA.ca. Once we get to another question, I will put the auction link in the comments for anybody interested in having a look at them. Ryan and I will also be on, I think, on Thursday to do the auction show where we will go through all 10 lots, talk about them, talk about the breeders, maybe their results from last year in the Pioneer, and give you guys an opportunity to ask questions about them if you are interested in doing so. Frank Eichhorn says, I'm in a town, got to control them, don't need trouble with my neighbors. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly.
But again, another thing, we had another new guy, and I said to the new guy, okay, can you let the dog in? Because I'm going to pull the feed from these guys.
I just wanted to listen, right?
Well, it's okay. You got to go let the dog in. Let's get on that, because I don't like dogs barking when we're on here. Anyways, getting back to it.
Up and down, my goodness.
Yeah, I know. He loves to move. He's moving like a well-oiled machine. You see, look at the three amigos here, eh? Anyways, one tip. Be nice to your neighbors, even if they're horrible, even if you don't like them, and you're starting off in pigeons, make your neighbors your friends. And remember, if you're showing them you got pigeons and that, when the winter time comes and they blow all their snow onto your driveway, don't be an asshole about it. Or they cut the grass onto your lawn, don't be an ass about it. Or they sing on Sunday mornings at 6 a.m., don't be an ass about it. Why? Because you're trading favors. That's about it. The best tip is the same with the raccoons. Neighbors are a different type of a raccoon.
Alfred says, when they are gone half an hour and they come back to have a look and then they are gone again for 20 minutes, that is a sign that you can take them away by car, when you can train them.
In my loft. Yeah, that's right. Can you take the feed tray out in my loft there? Because you're waddling around here.
Owen is asking, how's Old Yeller? He is in the
Owen,
loft, doing fine, Owen.
Owen,
Hello,
you got to
Bob.
be up at 5:30 in the morning, eh? Come on, get up, Owen. No,
uh,
you know what? He's doing really, really, really well. It's me versus Ricky with Owen's birds, and I told you I'm going to beat Ricky, and I probably won't, but I'm going to try.
Amber Loft says that his are going through their molt fast, so I don't know if they go through their molt slow when they are together, because he has them together, and he said that they're going through the molt very quickly. ABC Loft on YouTube asks, how long before the first young bird races should I use 3-in-1 meds for deworming and stuff?
3-in-1 med. No, if I want to worm them, I'd use a wormer. You took the feeder out? The little blue one, take it out, please. Yeah, the 3-in-1 meds. For worming, I would use a worming med. And how long? I like to train about 4 weeks before the first race. You know, between 4 and 6 weeks before. Right now, we've
I think
switched
he's asking to give them medication. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The question was to give medication for like worming and stuff like that. Would you advise that he give it to them 3 weeks prior to the first race? I think that was his question.
It's kind of a, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I don't worm them. I'm not worming mine anytime soon. They've had their worming before, and I'm looking at how they're going. I'm looking at how they're flying. I'm looking at how their droppings are. I'm looking at how they're acting. And the one thing I'm not going to give them right now is any worming. I don't think they need any of it.
Is he
But
afraid like he's going to get it on the truck? Or, I mean, what would be the reasoning?
I mean, it depends. Do your droppings look like you see worms in your droppings? Are the droppings wet? Are the birds losing a lot of weight? How do the droppings look? I mean, hey, Leah, when was the last time you were treated for worms?
I was what? I'm sorry, you cut out there. What?
When was the last time you were treated for worms?
I've never been treated for worms, but thanks for asking.
Oh, well, no. And I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I'm just being honest. I don't think if they're looking okay, everything's fine. I don't think you have a worm problem. So why treat for something that you don't have? It's like, Leah, you have a headache. You have a headache today, but I don't. Did I take any Tylenols? No, but you did. You know, I don't know. You treat for what you have.
So ABC Loft says the 3-in-1 that he's talking about is for canker worms and tricho. I'm assuming it's like a preventative thing, but I think
Yeah.
Ryan's point is maybe if you don't see any symptoms, why are we treating for something
Hey,
that doesn't exist?
you know what? And again, I'm not a vet. If you want to, like, okay, the difference between us and Alfred, right, or the guys in Europe, they can take their birds and go get them checked, and they can say your canker levels are high. It's like talking to Dan Gagoric. He said when I was in Spring Hill, Florida, he said at first when I got there, I couldn't figure out when it rained. I couldn't beat the guys. If it rained on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I couldn't beat them on the weekends. I couldn't figure out why. Guy said to him, you got to treat him for coxy, a little bit of coxy, give him a bit of coxy treatment. So that's what he started to do that, and bang, his results picked up because there's something with the coxy and the dampness and all that. It breeds. So, uh, you know what? Treat him. Treat him for it 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before. Give him a 5-day treatment of that. Then hit him back with the vitamins and the good stuff, and then you should be good. But in Europe, I don't hear these guys treat. They don't do it the same way as here. Here, there's literally every day potions in the water. I prefer good stuff in the water, vitamins, stuff to bring them back, boost them up, instead of the heavy meds. I mean, it's fine medicate them a bit before, but I mean, Leah, you even hear Marco Mattis. He don't treat all season.
No, he doesn't. Dave Ottaway says open hole picking on the lawn. They get worms like that.
Yeah.
Amberloff says if you have a natural product for worms like I do, you can give it to them once a month. Okay, so what's the natural product that you're giving them, Troy, for worms? Let us know. Owen says, I'm going to get a picture of not in good shape right now. I'll get a picture. There's a hole in it, but I'm not quite sure what we're talking about there, Owen, but okay, you get a picture of whatever it is you're getting a picture of.
If I could
Alfred
say
says
something.
that he gets the pigeons checked every 2 weeks at the vet.
There you go.
Now,
That's right.
before we get carried away here, in Europe, in places like Holland and in Belgium, there are such things as vets that specifically deal in pigeons.
Right.
Not like
And
here.
We went. You and I went to twice visit Xavier.
yeah,
Distraught.
yeah.
And I know Dave Ottaway said worms. Okay, fine, great. But Xavier, he's been flying for probably his family
100,
80 years.
100 years
100
in that time. Yeah.
Xavier said to me, us, very good. The birds are on the lawn. They're picking. They're picking. They're picking. He said, very good for the birds. Very good.
Now,
Maybe
hold on.
worms are maybe a very small amount of, if it's 100%, maybe worms are 5%. But Xavier said, very good. They're scratching. They're digging. They're doing this and doing that.
They're getting proteins. He called it proteins.
Protein.
And you know what? That's another way.
I'm not insulting Dave Ottaway,
No,
but what I'm saying is
other thoughts.
I listened to another fellow who's winning against
lots of
30,000 birds, 10,000 birds, and we're talking 80 years of bird flying.
And the lawn, he's not against the lawn. He loves the lawn. He thinks the lawn's one of the best places. And I know Dave. We've talked to Dave. Dave likes his birds go out on the lawn and pick. But yes, you can get worms. You can get worms from the lawn. I got a feeling though, the good healthy pigeons, once they're good and they're straight and healthy, they know what they want. They know it. They're not stupid. These pigeons are smarter than we are. But and getting back to what Alfred said about a pigeon vet in Canada, I'm going to use Canada because I'm not in the United States. There's no pigeon vet. They don't exist. If you think you have a pigeon vet, I'm going to be honest with you. They're taking your money. Nothing.
100%.
I'll bet the farm on it. 100%. They know nothing.
You can take a bird and have a vet come in. Let's say a bird's got a one eye cold. His eyes half shut. They say, "Oh, this looks perfect."
They can't even see it. And you know what? And they don't know what they're testing for. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But you see, Alfred is a very, very good flyer in Holland.
Yeah.
Do you see the stones he leaves unturned? He goes every 2 weeks to the vet. Every 2 weeks to the vet. He's testing out the pigeons.
But
he is making.
Let me ask you something. When he goes to that vet,
he can trust them.
No, he's a pigeon man, right?
Yeah.
So he basically looks at the vet and says, "What do you see? Tell me." I had a dog who was scratching, right? I knew what it was, right? The guy said to me, he'd been in business 40 years. He said, "Oh, I got to keep it for a week. Then I got to do tests. I said, "Wait a minute, buddy. You've been in business 40 years and you don't know what my dog's doing this." I said, "Hey, that's like a sailor out in the ocean fishing. He knows what fish is going to come. So don't," I told him straight, "You're just trying to hook me for $1.
And I'll tell you, we were there at the Fugari there, the Weir booth. The people were lined up to shake that vet's hand. Holy jumping!
Oh yeah.
There was miles of people shaking his hand. They love the vets there, and they're pigeon vets. So.
Well, the thing is, in our country, this area, hey, listen, how many pigeon people are there serious here in this land?
There's none.
There's not a lot. So they can't focus. But when you go to Europe,
well, there's not the demand. Yeah, we get that.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
man thing, right?
we're gonna move on here. Ant Barloft says diatomaceous. I'm not quite sure. I probably butchered that. Diatomaceous earth is what I use for worms. You can buy it at the health food store. It's good for mite and lice as well. Sprinkle it in the nest box or in the nest bowl. Good suggestion there, Troy. Thank you very much. Dave says, I like mine to pick on the lawn, but the byproduct of that is worms. Only 54 years experience he has. Tracy says, maybe I will become a bird vet and move to Canada, make lots of money. Hey, Tracy, why not?
Become a bird vet. Oh boy.
Rodrigo
So,
says, I have a youngster. The drops is green. I take it away from the others. I don't know what it is. Okay.
Probably
Green
a little
dropping.
bit of young bird sickness. I'd probably put them on a bit of amoxicillin. Give it to them fresh, and don't leave them with the water all the time. Give them the water twice a day. When you give them the water, 15 minutes, take the water away.
And
That
he's
that
off again.
it's a Leah. It's a moving thing here today. I'm sitting here. I'm holding the ship down. Your head's pounding, and good old LMR is just like a fart in the wind. And this is a
Circling.
family show. The word fart is not a bad word.
There he goes again. Okay. So keep an eye on it, Ryan, would you say?
Yeah, keep an eye on it. Separate it. Use some amoxicillin. Concentrate it. Make it, beef it up a little bit. Give it to them fresh. Don't leave it with them. Pigeons like it fresh, and go from there.
Alma Connect says yellow sulfur powder also works on worms and parasites. Can spread it in their perch as well for mites and external parasites. Frank Yanknet says, my flyers seem to be addicted to the fire pit every day now.
Yeah, because the fire pit, it's got ash, right? The charcoal, they love it. Same thing here. By our fire pit, once a week, twice a week, I put sulfur, I put some salt out, I put some grit out. I take the old grit, I put it down. It's okay. It's okay. I know these birds here, they know exactly what they want. And I know they're going to take what they want, and I'm going to give them what they want. And I can let them go around and salvage and pick. I'm not overly worried.
We've got the red grit.
Yep.
If you read it, it's got ash in it.
It's got ash in it, sure.
Right.
And again, if you burn, and I'm saying if you're burning garbage and stuff, well, that's not what you want to give your birds. But hey, you burn some hard oak or you burn an apple tree, you burn that right down, those pigeons will climb into that. That's all minerals and nutrients, and there's something in there that they want. Hey, is it a bad thing? Are they stupid? They're not stupid. You talk to the pigeon guys. Everything they give their birds, a lot of the time they taste it. They're tasting it to make sure it tastes good. It's okay, good. Tastes like shit. The birds ain't gonna drink it this way, that way. I don't know. It's what we do. I don't know. It's like people say even the birds sit up in the trees. I'm not worried when the birds come home. They're gonna sit in the tree. I don't worry. And you know what? My trees here, they're full of pigeons. They're full. Ask Carlos Textera. You message him. Ryan, he had 65 pigeons in the tree today. Carlos, how did they fly? He said, I've never seen one-loft birds fly like that at any one-loft race. Well, there you go.
So question for Wednesday, the club meeting. The birds obviously are going to be in the loft. They're going to be in the dark by the time, obviously, everybody comes to the meeting. Are people allowed to go in the loft on Wednesday evening? And are they allowed to handle their birds?
Uh,
So
I mean, I'm going to have and I'm just being.
I'd have to say number one. We're going to have a meeting.
That's the first priority.
Which means it could be definitely
an hour.
No, wait. Let me finish.
Okay.
Not an hour. It's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3-hour meeting. Now, do you expect us to start running around to the back of the loft, get the birds, bring them up for you
No.
guys to see that. I
No.
think you got to come at a
Nobody
different time.
nobody
Nobody
asked.
said that.
Let's just
You're
hang
fighting.
on a
Yeah.
minute.
No,
I
no.
was just
Someone said.
inquiring. I
Hold
was
on.
just hang
Hold
on a
on.
minute.
Okay.
Keep
You
your
need to
pants
stay in your
on.
lane.
Yeah,
You have to walk around
No,
again.
I heard it.
I was just asking, just in case anybody else was wondering what the protocol is going to be for Wednesday. That's all.
Okay.
I would say
Okay.
Wednesday night. This is a club meeting. We don't have time
Okay.
to start running around
Hold on.
pulling birds out.
First of all, they're not asking about your birds. They're asking about my birds.
Oh,
But that's okay. We want to get the club meeting
come
done.
2 hours before the meeting, and then you can handle your birds.
Hold on.
Troy says
That's
if they're
it.
in the dark, I would say don't disturb their routine.
We're going to have the auction birds on display. If it
Oh,
is
yeah.
a must and a 91111 that you want to see your birds, if it's the be all and end all, please let me know by tomorrow because I got to go and find them because most of the time the guys that want to see their birds, unfortunately, they're the blue bars or the checkers, and I got to dig, and I don't really feel like bugging them.
I would have to say that Troy has the right idea, and if this is a club meeting,
Let's get the club stuff done.
Yeah,
club
we're going to get
stuff.
the club stuff
If
done. Okay.
we
All
start,
right.
All
Okay,
right. Let's move
Dad,
on.
we don't need to go over it again. Stop. Stay in your lane.
I'm sorry, man.
No, but
Dave
you go.
Ottaway says we used to buy charcoal grit. Charcoal is good for them. That's obviously, I guess, why they're going in the old fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Peebler's in the house. Hello, hello. ABC Loft says, any suggestions on how to control the feed? I have 20 young birds. They loft fly. Half the birds trap early, eat all the food. The other 10 birds trap late, eat nothing. Is
How
there
do
a
we do?
better way?
Yeah, there is. There is. ABC Loft. When you walk into that loft, what do you say? I'm the boss. So you're gonna let your birds out. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna let your birds out tomorrow. You lock the chute. When you want them in, you call them in. They all come in. A little sprinkle, one fistful for the fast ones. And then guess what? We're gonna sit there. We're gonna wait. They're all gonna come in. We're gonna give them half the ration of feed, one fistful at a time. Bang, bang, bang. Give them a fistful. Let them clean it up. Give them a fistful. Let them clean it up. And you know what? When you're calling them and talking to them, heads up. They got to be looking at you. Hey, ABC, can I get some more feed? That's what. Become the boss. The fast ones, just adjust it. Today we did the adjustment. We took them from night to morning. Last night, what did I feed them? Half ration, candy mix, only candy mix, all in one grit. How did they trap today? Bang, like lightning. Think about what you're doing and remember, those who master the feed get the best results. Because it's you can train them, you can do whatever you want, but you've got to know how to feed them, get them working dead spot on. Take your time.
Let them be full in weight and feed them in your backyard on a lawn chair.
Yeah.
Now watch it.
It's like you see here on the show. We can call them. The birds come down on the board. Some birds do, some birds don't. If I want the whole board sitting on top of me, I'm just going to back that feed off.
So basically,
and make them come to me.
When you call them in, if they're ready, they're all the same age.
Yep.
Roughly, right? I'm not talking about putting squeakers in
Yes.
with birds that are 3 months old.
No.
Okay, that's not going to work.
No.
But if they're all the same age, when I call them in,
easy.
Within 10 seconds, 10, they got to be in. That's it. If they're not in, you're either sick or dumb.
Or you got them overdone.
Or,
you got them overdone.
No, if you're working on a system.
On it, but I'm saying, he's not getting them in. He says they're flying good. The fast ones come in and eat. So just slow you don't slow the fast ones down. You give the fast ones that little bit of reward. And then what you do, you wait. Get everybody on the same system. And we always say, a fistful of feed, one fistful for 2 birds. It's a good starting point.
In the can.
One fistful, not a scoopful. One fistful.
Like this.
Yeah, a
Boom.
fistful for 2 birds. And then you go from there and you start
watch
gauging.
them. When you feed them, their wings should be like this. Not like this, and not like this. The wing should be this way.
And when and when you
And
and when you feed
that's it.
them, a fistful, I have 200 birds, so I don't feed one fistful. I may feed 15 fistfuls to
But
spread it out. Now hold on. If I'm feeding 20 birds, I do one or two fistfuls. The birds are eating. When they're done, all the feed, the little canola seed, or the barley, or the rice, or the whatever.
It's done.
You know what? It's like when I have dinner with you. We talk at the dinner table, right? You talk. All of a sudden, you give them two fistfuls. They're done eating. You just talk to them. Whatever your call is. Oh, they look up at you. They're talking back to you. Hey, give me some more feed. Bang, bang, another two. You keep talking to them. You build a bond. You build a relationship. It's not about dumping feed in a feeder. I hate feeders because I find feeders are impersonable. Speaking of that, there's a feeder. But
Uh, Alfred says, I like your father, looks like my father. You know what we should do? We should do tradesies, like loft manager trading, like in kids when they used to have the, what do you call those?
yeah,
What do you
yeah,
call it?
yeah.
Not transfer students,
Yeah.
swap,
The kid comes from Russia and he lives with you. Exchange
Exchange.
students.
Yeah.
Hey,
exchange. We'll
Leah,
exchange loft managers.
Alfred's dad would whip me with a whip. I'd have lash marks on me.
Jay-Z says, "What's this? A family feud?" Oh, we don't mean any harm. We're a
Well, no,
family.
but
This is what we
you,
do.
you know what? I will say, feeding pigeons. If you have the time, feed them a fistful or two at a time, and take your time. Just like you watch them loft fly. Why are you watching them loft fly? It's your hobby, but you learn how they pick the pace up. You learn. But you got to open your eyes and look. It's not about a feeder and putting the feed out and walking away. You don't learn.
If I can say something,
Mm,
I got my loft there.
mm,
Birds are healthy,
okay.
strong, lots of body on them, perfect. But if at a certain time of day, I look out the kitchen window, and if I got them open, and they fly to me
In the window.
over the wind, they see me in the window, and they fly up onto the roof above the window. You know what?
They're telling you.
They respect.
They respect.
And I got birds out here, my old birds. I let them out. They play around. But when I walk down to that loft,
They know you.
they're all right.
Mhm.
They know me. It's time.
Daddy's calling them. It's time to eat. We have family supper. Family supper.
Yeah.
So ABC Loft
I don't
says,
know how to explain it.
ABC Loft says right now he's putting 20 tablespoons in the feeder and calling them in. He said, I will change my approach. So maybe just try it the way Ryan's saying and
Cut it
see if
down
that
to
helps.
15.
Hey, you want to know what? Remember, these aren't your kids. These are your team. This is a team, and you all got to work together. So you know what? I'm feeding you good feed. I call you. Half of you come in. 5 birds out of the 20 come in. 5 birds, 2 fistfuls. Done. Now we wait for the other ones. When the other ones come in, I give another 3 or 4 fistfuls, so everyone feels like they got a bit of a reward. Nothing for the rest of the day. Why? Tomorrow, the late ones are gonna go like this. Holy shit! I ain't messing around. A few times of teaching them to come in, all of a sudden, they got it in their brain. And remember, you feed them at your pace, what you want to do. You know what? You want to sit there on a pop crate and say, I'm not going to feed them until they crawl on me. It's okay. They got the weight already. You can train them to do it. Take your time.
Jay-Z's asking, is it cold there? Is it cold out?
It's
No.
getting cool tonight. Yeah.
You know what? And we had that drizzle there and overcast, but now we got a little bit of cooler weather. The birds are flying great. Feeding, and I will say something, Dad. You and I have both seen it. A lot of guys have a lot of hard time feeding. They're what we call a little bit too soft. Today was the first day my birds had the pure. I fed them by the fistful, slow, right? But I'm feeding 200 birds. Do you know those birds? First time ever on barley. You lick the floor of it. But if I had to put everything down,
good
if I had to
shape.
put their whole, because I had 50% reindeer mix
Yeah.
and 50% barley. If I would have put that whole thing down, they would have eaten the corn. You know what they would have said to the rest of it? I ain't eating.
Tony from Karloffs has a question, and he's asking, how do I deal with trying to put some younger birds to my young bird group? Do I feed them extra? How do I start letting them out? I don't have a separate section for them.
See, and that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because you don't have the room. You got to mix them. So you almost, what you have to do.
I would let the first group out.
Yes.
And then
the older ones or the younger ones?
The older ones out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the younger ones, just let them on the board and watch.
Let them do their thing. And when you call them in, everybody gets their feed.
Yeah.
Older ones out first, then the younger ones.
Yeah.
Or separate the times. Let the older ones out, right? When you let the older ones out, put the younger ones in a basket and then switch it out.
Or if you've got two sections.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
He's stuck.
Yeah.
You might have to get rid of the Leah. Do you remember the breed?
What? I was reading the comments.
The breed? Oh, the breed of Tony's bird. What were they called? Turkish tumblers. There we go.
Turkish tumblers.
Yeah, no. I would let them out. Let your old ones out first. Let them fly. And then
give your next ones a chance.
Yeah, just
but again,
them out, let them watch.
Tony's another one of those guys. He lives in that subdivision. All I can say, best tip, try and keep those neighbors as your friends. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Alfred has a question. How do you catch the temperature differences from daytime to night? He says the difference is not good for the pigeons.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I would say if you can keep, let's say it goes to 80 degrees or 30 Fahrenheit or Celsius, or 25. Try and keep that heat in your loft at night. Don't have that. Like right now, I've got this hat on. I've got shorts on.
Here's a question.
I'm gonna have pants on soon.
Here's the question.
That's not good. The muscle texture is gonna hurt.
So today I have them all in the dark right now. Okay, my loft is ventilated good. Tonight I'm not going to open these windows. No. I'll get up at 5:30 in the morning and open the windows.
You asked me to go in there and
it's
do something
warmer
10 minutes ago. Nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
Leave it warm.
Leave it warm.
Nice and warm.
So those windows tonight we'll leave them shut. So you exactly like what Alfred's saying is, you got to use your judgment. But pigeons like it warm, like the heat. I think heat for pigeons is the very best. Yeah. And if your loft is breathing
breathing the air.
Yeah. If we put 500 pigeons in this loft with the heat that's in there, I got nothing but sickness and respiratory. Bad. It'll be bad. So you can't have a warm loft and have it overcrowded. It ain't going to work.
It's something with my loft upstairs. I haven't had any respiratory.
You haven't? No.
No. Because even though it's closed up, but the ceiling, I have an open ceiling.
A high ceiling. You have a very high ceiling, yeah.
Yeah, above the birds. So
I don't know.
I go up there, nice and warm. I like it.
The heat's good. Never be worried about the heat.
As long as there's
good airflow. Airflow. That's right. Airflow is key. And
if you walk in the loft and you smell, it's like it's not right.
Yeah, you gotta have. There's that smell. There's that feel.
Yeah.
And this loft here, I've been lucky with it. I mean, it's held over 200 birds, and I've had it over 100 degrees in there in the dark. It's warm. She's hot. You're dripping. But you know what? The birds. I've even had birds sitting in the loft panting, and I got other birds laying out everything
on their
on the butts of their wings. Yeah. And I look at the group as a whole.
Yeah.
I have one out there panting. The one that's out there like this, panting, he ain't never doing it anyways. All the other ones, you see lots of them laying on the butts of their wings, enjoying the heat. So, oh boy.
Okay, no other questions. If we don't have any other questions, I guess we're going to wrap the show up. Again, reminder about our club meeting on Wednesday. Everybody is welcome to attend, even if you're not a club member but might be interested in becoming a club member or want to see the benzing clock demonstration. As good as we can do it, we are still learning the system, guys, so we don't know all the nooks and crannies and tricks that it does, but we can give you a good review on how it works, especially Loft Manager Richard's clock, the Benzing G2, which is what a lot of you, I think, will be purchasing.
Yeah,
So
leaning
that is,
towards.
yeah, leaning towards. That'll be on Wednesday the 16th. We will try and do a live broadcast on our Facebook and YouTube channel for those of you that can't make it. If you are coming, we will have the Pioneer auction birds on display for you guys to look at. We will have the pedigrees up as well, so you can have a look when you come. We want to start the meeting at 7 o'clock, so if you want to come ahead of time, if you need to pick up feed or you need to pick up some products, please come before 7 o'clock. We are going to try and start the meeting as close to 7 as we can. We don't want to be there all night. So if you need to buy stuff, please come before or purchase your stuff after the meeting.
Yep. And if you know what you want, please let us know. But yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, don't show up here at 5:30 and just sit here and want to just, I hate to say.
Oh, if you do come at 5:30, it's no problem. You can come, but you're going to be playing cornhole until 7 o'clock. So bring your running shoes. Alfred says they never have more than a 4-degree difference. The moisture is always 70% through heating and hydrostat or thermostat, I guess is what he's saying. He must have a heated loft. Is that what he's saying?
I've been there. His lofts are very small. Again, you hear there's never 4 degrees difference. But I mean,
100%.
hold on. You're looking at a.
So right now,
hold on. What we're saying is though, this man. I'll be honest with you. I met him and his father. They're pigeon wizards. They blow me and Ricky away right out of the water. They know their
there he
business.
goes.
They know their way around a pigeon loft.
There he goes. There he goes. You know what we should
Leah,
do? This
you
we
know the
should do
Lost Hobo?
next week. Next week we're gonna do a drinking game, the Pioneer Family Show drinking game, which you don't have to use an alcoholic shot. You could use milk, or you can use coffee or espresso. Every time Loft Manager Richard gets up in the show, you guys have to do a shot. I think that's like the 6th
It's
time
pouring
now.
rain here. It's pouring
Oh,
rain.
is it raining?
Oh
Is
yeah,
it?
you know what though? Here at the Pioneer Village, rain
Oh.
won't hurt. I'm gonna get you, my little pretties, and your little dog too.
Dan says, nice show, good job. Thank you, Dan, and thank you for your donation. I believe Dan Gregoric donation is lot number 3, so check that out on our website, fipa.ca. Ryan and I will be back
Yep.
on Thursday to do the auction show, and Jay-Z wants to know what time is coffee tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock, Ryan-ish?
Yeah, I get up at about. I struggle. I get up at about 5:30 and I hit the snooze button twice today, and I said, "Boy, I'm not doing this job. I'm quitting." Then I realized why I love it. It's a lot of fun. No, I'll be up at about anywhere between 6 and 6:30. The birds will be up. So yeah, be on, be ready. We'll see how they go. I got a late one here. I got a couple late ones. That's fine. They got to get on that system. That's fine. Pretty much that's it. I mean,
Henry says instead of where's Waldo, it's where's Ricky. Yeah, that's the story of our life. He's just circling. Where did he go
yeah.
now?
Today was a. He went. He had to get his droppers in. Oh, we got droppers coming into the loft this week. I got
Oh,
about 30. I ordered 30 on the Ricky line there.
well, that'll be fun.
And we're gonna get Rusty back in the mix. He's gonna be spinning the ones and twos.
I think it's good to introduce the droppers. I think a lot of people are curious, maybe who don't know about droppers, how we use them, what they look like, best way
Well,
to utilize them. So it'll be nice to introduce them to everybody.
yeah. Last year we had about 8. I'm gonna move up to 30 this year, just because
Oh,
it's just a lot of work going in and out of the loft.
Does Alfred, if you're still on, do you use droppers? Do you know? Does Alfred use droppers? You were there. Did you see any?
I didn't see any. I was afraid to ask his dad that because I thought I might have been killed.
You might get smacked.
Hey, Leah, you're talking about and speaking of Alfred, in the Silver Creek, I think it's lot number 10.
Oh
It's half
yeah, yeah,
Home
yes,
Van
yes,
Zorn.
yes, yes.
The man who's on right now. His bird is here again. What was it? 2017 Chateauroux National winner.
I think lot number 10 is a great grandchild of Sister Estrella, from what
Yes,
I'm
it is.
remembering. I think, yeah. And it's mixed with, uh, is that the Baldwin and Tilson?
Yeah.
I
I
feel like
mean,
it's mixed with the Baldwin and Tilson.
yeah, that's right. Baldwin until yeah, I think it is. Anyways, you know what? The bird went down a bit and then come back up. It's out there now.
And
I think it's on the
Alfred,
recovery.
check out lot number 10 there because it's half of
Half
your
yours.
stock, half of your bloodline. And he said yes, that he does use droppers. So there you go. That's good to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I seen them, but I mean, you know what? I was on jet lag, and you know how it is. You know, I'll tell you guys, when you go to places and you're trying to absorb everything, and you're trying to do a show, and you miss stuff. I mean, it's hard.
Definitely is. To everybody who has bid so far on our auction, thank you guys very much. We do appreciate the support. Reminding everybody that the bid includes activation for the bird in the race. Also, if the pigeon has a Pioneer Gold Band on it, the bird will also be activated for the Elite Band series. So it's a double whammy. It's a good one. That's a good one, right, Ryan?
That's a good one. Where did he go? Why did he disappear? I got
Okay,
my, you know
we'll
that red that was, he's over there at LMR's. He's gonna go in, but that's fine. He'll go in and I'll get him straightened up. He doesn't
okay.
want to go in to shoot. It's dark.
Okay, we're gonna wrap the show up. Ryan will be back at 6 tomorrow morning for our morning loft live. Great show tonight, guys. Thanks for all the questions and the comments. I'm gonna wrap it up, Ryan, and you wrap the show up.
All right, we will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Alfred will probably be on the show, or he could be sleeping. It doesn't matter. The birds go up, rain or shine. We will have them up. You can watch how they loft fly. Today they did real good. Tomorrow, hopefully, they get a little bit better, just a little bit. We don't need a lot more, just a little bit more. Inch by inch, brick by brick, mile by mile. All great questions, great feedback. Stay tuned on Wednesday for our club meeting. You guys are all welcome back. Thanks for flying.